Let me bring in my guest for this hour, criminal defense attorney and former Los Angeles County prosecutor, Josh Ritter. Josh, great to see you. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
All right, let me get your thoughts just generally on this whole Bo Dukes issue. I have some thoughts, we'll get into those. But first I want to get your thoughts on the saga concerning Bo Dukes and all that comes along with it.
First, it's great that shows like yours are so great to explain to folks watching how so much of a trial is taken care of before jurors actually ever see evidence. That so much of this legal wrangling is really crafting the landscape of what will be presented in front of jurors. And one of those important issues is obviously going to be this co-defendant, though he's not sitting as a co-defendant, but a person who participated in the crime to some extent with Bo Dukes. And it sounds like both the prosecution and the defense don't know what exactly he's going to testify or who exactly he's going to be hostile towards. So they're concerned, the defense, obviously, if he was given any kind of deal that would create a bias in him that they would want to exploit in front of the jurors. And also, he may answer questions in a way that they feel will be against their client, putting more of the blame on Mr. Ryan Duke rather than Bo Dukes. And so they want to be able to cross-examine him and impeach him with his prior crimes if that becomes necessary. It's really interesting to watch all of this, the judge playing referee before anything actually makes itself to the playing field.
Absolutely. And you know, one of the issues that I have with this guy is that, you know, it's likely, now he's going to come back tomorrow, he's going to get an attorney out there in the Irwin County, and I think they'll just advise him to take the fifth. He might take the fifth throughout. This may be all much ado about nothing.
Yeah, that would be interesting, too, because even though he's already been convicted, he could say, well, listen, there's still exposure for me. Maybe there are other things that the prosecution could pin on me that I don't want to have to testify to, in which case, if the prosecution does want to allow him to testify, they're going to have to offer him something right there. They're going to have to provide him with some sort of immunity at that point to be compelled to testify. So, yeah, this could play out that he doesn't even take the stand at all, really depending on how his attorney advises him. And you got to be asking the question, why? Why would he want to participate in this unless there's something beneficial to him in the end? Because he's sitting in prison for 25 years as it is. So unless it's out of his own, the goodwill of his own heart, you would wonder why he would want to take the stand to help the prosecution out in this case.
Absolutely. And if I were his attorney that they're assigning to him now, the first thing I would do is start making those calls and those conversations with prosecutors. If you want him to testify, we got to talk about, you know, what you're going to give us in return. So again, could turn out he doesn't testify at all.